Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is the third installment. We'll call it the GEOGRAPH webinar series for the IMGIS conference, Esri's IMGIS conference this year. Hope everybody has enjoyed their experience and all the presentations, the Esri presentations and all the others. Like I said, hope you guys were able to attend the first two presentations that we did earlier today and yesterday, managing and building out HFC networks, as well as managing network outages, all with CrescentLink and ArcGIS for desktop. All right, today we're going to talk about how to better plan network buildouts and expansion projects. We're gonna talk about how to estimate the cost associated with those projects. We're gonna be using CrescentLink. If you joined us for the first two webinars or presentations, you've been introduced to CrescentLink, but CrescentLink is our suite of tools that we utilize, built on Esri's ArcMap for desktop. And it was specifically developed to help plan, build out, manage, troubleshoot fiber, copper, and coax networks. All right, so any kind of telecom network, CrescentLink was basically designed and it's continued to develop to basically manage and operate those networks. All right. And today, more specifically, we're going to dig into how we can more efficiently and more completely, adequately plan for and estimate costs for building out networks, whether that be just expanding existing plant, doing overbuilds, things of that nature. Just essentially, compiling and gathering better data on what those projects are going to consist of and what they're going to cost. All right. All right, so the ability to quickly scope your network buildouts and come up with solid cost estimates is really what's critical in allowing us to make more informed decisions regarding financial viability of our broadband network in particular. Okay, so when considering expansions or buildouts, like I said, what's most important here? What's most important to consider when we are coming up on feasibility of these projects or executing these projects. First, being empowered to more quickly design network expansions, in order to meet growing service demand or, capitalize on better service territories, things like that. That's obviously at the top of our list, servicing your customers and providing the best service possible. Obviously that's number one on your to-do list, right? That's your number one goal there. Number two, the ability to more easily capture network components. What do we have to actually install out in the field to kind of provide the service that we want to, right? Whether it be overcoming deficiencies presented by a plant that's already out there, or like I said, maybe it's a completely new build. What are we going to put out there to provide the service that we want to? It's all about future-proofing your network, right? And really just filling the needs of your customers, and not just the needs they have now, but the ones that they'll experience 5, 10, even 15 years down the road, right? Planning ahead and building out so you can, maximize ROI on that. And lastly, being able to efficiently generate cost and materials data that are going to allow your organization to make better decisions, more informed decisions, so we're not just relying on our gut or just our experience over the years, right? We have actual data that we can go to our board or management or our members to help with these projects, right? So of course, at the end of the day, our ideas and what we want to do, they're great, but without execution or the ability to execute, right? The data required to actually execute these ideas, they're just that. They're just thoughts, right? So we have to be able to plan every aspect of these projects, especially what network components are going to be required and what costs are going to be associated with those. Okay. So next, we got to visit or think about, what's at stake here. When we start to weigh these decisions and make choices as to what the future holds for our network, what's really at stake. And first, we'll look internally. Okay, wasted time and labor due to inefficient design and project management processes. Those are, kind of number one, right? Using outdated systems or outdated methods, something that's inefficient processes, like I said, that require lots of steps, lots of, multiple versions of the same project, things like that, obsolete workflows essentially. Number two, inaccurate or incomplete data resulting in ill-informed decisions, just bad decisions, right? Not being able to get the data out that we need to make better decisions, to really know what this project's going to entail, and how to, like I said, make better informed decisions. And lastly, all of this ultimately resulting in frustration over a lack of preparedness for future strain and demand on your network. All right, so you're in the driver's seat here, and not having the proper workflows or systems or tools at your disposal, not being able to get the right data or a complete picture of what that data looks like, ultimately leaves you kind of stranded there, and you're unable to kind of fulfill and meet the demands of your customer base and the network and the demands that your network is going to present you as it grows in the future. All right. Now let's dig a little deeper. What tools are at our disposal? What do we have in kind of our toolkit here that will help us overcome these challenges? So with ArcGIS for Desktop and CrescentLink, we can overcome all these concerns and kind of confront all these issues head on, right? So today, more specifically, we're going to utilize equipment templates, and we're going to do that to store material unit data and asset data. We're going to configure unit rate sheets and use those and kind of cross-reference those with inventories that we have, kind of our warehouse, right? And lastly, we're going to create staking sheets, project cost, and unit summary reports to give us a more complete picture, right? To give us the data that we need to make those decisions we talked about, and give us a more accurate picture to help us move forward. All right, so let's check some of this out. Get everything moved over here. Like I said, CrescentLink is essentially an extension on ArcMap, ArcGIS for Desktop here, and it's just an extension that rides pretty smoothly right here. Same interface, same everything, right? You're used to it already. Today, like I said, we're going to utilize a couple specific CrescentLink tools. One of it, which being Project Planner. Okay, this is utilized for project design, management, staking sheets. Like I said, creating these reports. Essentially doing everything that we just covered on kind of our task list for today, we're going to be doing inside of Project Planner. We're also going to go over and kind of utilize a little bit here in the setup, Network Manager, which essentially is used day to day for network operation, troubleshooting, building out, and things like that. All right. We've done a little bit of setup here to kind of, fast forward, I guess, in this process. And what we've done is we have created little build out here. We'll go ahead and close this so some of the information we don't need yet will kind of disappear. All right, so what we have is a small neighborhood here, and I have, based on my symbology, have proposed network components here. Okay, so everything you see symbolized in this kind of red dashed line, it's all in a proposed state. And I'm doing that because I've got it spliced back up to existing plant, but I want to show both visually and in some of the reporting that I can do that this project isn't online yet, right? I've basically just built these components out as part of my planning process here and management here. So what this allows us to do is, like I said, build this project out and kind of keep everything in the state until we are ready to, build it in real life, bring it online, things of that nature, okay? I'm going to go ahead and open Project Planner again. We'll just kind of leave it hanging here in the background. Load this project up that I've already started and have staked. All right. I'm going to just kind of demonstrate this process. I've done this for all these components, but we'll make this a little bit quicker. But what I've done is utilized feature templates to kind of store data that will, like I said, be cross-referenced with kind of inventory information that I have back at the warehouse. All right. So I've done this for all these homes here you see in this neighborhood. Let's bring this last one online to kind of get it incorporated in this project. Just going to add a little drop here, connect this up. I'm going to use Network Manager at this specific location. Get that out of the way. And then again, I'm going to utilize my templates here. Just drop some electronics. All right. As you can see, my template is pretty barren. I don't have much information here. It's pretty standard. I was able to save the port information just as kind of my standard ONT at this service location. But this is very, we'll call it default, right? Very generic, not much going on here. But as you'll see, when we get to Project Planner, this kind of container of information is going to help us out. All right. So we'll go into Project Planner. Right now, you see I'm in sheet 6. Okay, using Project Planner, I can lay sheets of varying sizes, various scales, that kind of thing, basically to give me this stake job here. Okay, if you're familiar with kind of field operations, this is what we would export and print out to essentially make a construction packet, right? Things that we're going to deliver to the construction crews in the field, so that they can go and build it out, redline it, get it back to me to bring it online. All right. So back at this service location, I see, like I said, that I am on sheet 6. So we'll go ahead and expand that. I've got an operation already on this sheet that's basically going to encapsulate everything that needs to be done here. I see down here on operation 6, all of my units that are going to be involved here. Okay. So I see that I have 837 feet of my drop, for example. I have some equipment. All right, these names are pretty generic. Again, these are tied back to my inventories, what I'm using to catalog inventory, right? But I see some pedestals here, a few pedestals on this sheet, a few ONTs, and what I can do is very quickly, using the tools at my disposal in Project Planner, add units directly from the map. Okay, so I've drawn it out. It's very, very quick and easy to draw it out using these feature templates and these equipment templates that I showed earlier. But now I want to bring those units into this unit summary that we call down here to basically track what's being used, and that way I can use it later on. So I'm going to go over here to my add units by clicking on features in the map. Little tooltip there. But when I pull this tool up, I can just quickly click on the features in the map, and you see that as adding it to this feature list here. All right, get to the structure. Kind of wrote on top of that presentation there. Sorry about that. All right, but then once I add those to this list here, I can see that I added another 81 feet of drop here, and I added another electronics. All right, so as you can see really quickly, I haven't tied these in yet, okay, because I just use, like I said, my very generic feature templates. But what I can do is go here, and I have added a rate sheet. I basically imported a rate sheet, just in a CSV file, brought it into CrescentLink to be used for instances like this, okay? So I can go to this, bring up this rate sheet. I've just created a generic one for this specific project, but I see here, I have my drop stored. All right, I've got my drop, I've got my part number associated with it, I've got the cost associated with that material as well. I see it's cost by feet. All right, so I'm just going to click on this, and I'm going to apply it to this extra drop that I just added here, and then you see it automatically populates that pertinent information. Okay, click OK. That's going to bring it on. We'll do it again. These electronics. Okay. Bring up my rate sheet. And I know down here, just because I've added several of them to this project, that this XS-250X-A is an ONT. All right. So I'm going to add that as well. Populates that information again with my vendor, my cost data, part numbers, etc. Okay, add that in. And so what I've done for each one of these staking sheets in this job here, I've created operations. Within each operation, I have compiled all the data for the network components and network assets that I'm going to be needing to complete these jobs. Okay, you see the fibers that I'm going to be laying here. It's calculating the footage and the cost based on that. All my equipment, I can do active equipment. Obviously, I've got some pedestals here. Again, some ONTs. Going deeper. Those are my larger cables, but I'm tracking handholds. I'm tracking basically everything that it's going to take to bring this little neighborhood right here online and connect it up back to my existing plant. Okay, so what do I do once I have this kind of project built out in CrescentLink? Okay, I mean, this is nice, right? I've got it in my system of record. It's in a proposed state, like I said. But how do I tie all this back together? How am I going to make my decisions based on what I have here? Well, what we can do, like we went over earlier, is basically tie this data in to existing, I have a CSV file here, like I said, a rate sheet, existing rate sheets, inventory information, things like that, to basically assign values and things to build unit summaries, to build cost estimates of this entire job, and to basically get a list of all the materials I'm going to need for this job. So I can go in here, begin to project planner, click on unit summary, and what it does, it is adding everything that's in this project in this unit summary right here. Okay, just based on the data that I have right now, gives me a generic cost. I want to make sure that I apply the rate sheet that I have, okay, because I added some other units to the map, bring that other home online here. I'm going to click apply. All right, and what that's going to do is attribute the cost to every, based on the rate sheet and the account number, or the account codes and part numbers that I have, along with the unit designations. I'm basically applying all this data that I have saved to this individual project. All right, so this is my unit summary. And what that does, I can export that, as you saw, to just basically a CSV, and I can bring a cost list for everything that I'm going to be using. Okay, so it's giving me the unit or the cost for essentially this entire project. All right, so I see I'm going to need 4 splitters here. This is what they cost per splitter. This is going to be my total cost. All right, my footage of this 144, my total cost, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so I'm going to be able to bring the units up here. Like I showed a second ago, I can also, at a quick glance, get a snapshot of what this project's going to cost. All right, I didn't tie in labor rates to this specific project. Okay, I'm essentially just doing this one based on the network components, things that are going to be required for this project, et cetera. So just getting a quick snapshot of what it's going to cost as far as the materials and equipment, network equipment that's going to be required for connectivity here. So I can very quickly bring up that data as well. And like I said, I have this construction packet. All right, so I can export this to PDF and get this project basically printed out, this whole stake project, along with these unit summaries, this cost estimation, and I can get this into a nice, clean PDF packet that's ready to deliver to my construction crews, deliver to my board for approval. I now have information that I can go back to my customer base to kind of, basically, like I said, make more better informed decisions here. Okay, so before, when we were considering, building out in this area, sure, I can go in and I can, start drawing all these features. I can, go back to my warehouse manager. I can say, hey, kind of point by point, I think I need this many of this. I think I need this many of this, and basically work with a bunch of different departments in your organization, get a bunch of people involved, probably wait a week or two for them to get back to you, right? Because they have other fires to put out. And then I can kind of haphazardly throw this data together, right? Or I can spend, less than one afternoon to draw this out into my system of record. Okay, I'm already in my map that I'm using for my everyday network management. I can draw it out here. I can apply these templates so that I have all of my account codes and my part numbers that are tied back in with my warehouse manager and his database. Okay, so I have all that information in here, and I can very quickly pull these reports to see exactly how much it's going to cost, to see exactly how much network components I'm going to need. I can get a quick list, you know, give that to your warehouse manager and say, this is exactly what I need. You know, for a certainty, this is what it's going to take to build this project out. All right. So very quick, going through this project here very quickly, you know, kind of going over what it takes, what we can, what tools we can utilize within CrescentLink, and of course, the feature templates and things that are native within ArcMap, what we can use and take advantage of to basically make these processes and workflows quicker, more accurate, more complete, and basically just more definitive. Okay. That about wraps it up here. What I'll do is I'll consult with DJ here, see if we had any Q&A come in. See if we have any questions.
We do have one good question.
Sure. So are the templates mentioned in Project Planner part of the CrescentLink licenses or have to be purchased separately? Second part. So good question, Sean. So Project Planner and you know, everything that you saw today is part of our CrescentLink license. We have one license for basically all the tools that you just saw. So Project Planner, like you saw, was calling a different extension, right? It operates kind of independently, but it is included. It is included in the CrescentLink subscription. So everything you saw today, you would get with your, you know, basic CrescentLink license. The templates that we showed, again, we're utilizing Esri's, you know, feature template capabilities to do both our feature and equipment templates. Those basically we build those from scratch, kind of on the front end, right? And populate those with the information that we need. With CrescentLink being very open, you know, and us not really hard coding any of this data, you can add and edit anything you want. We did that kind of on purpose because we know things change, maybe vendors change, you know, maybe, you know, products that you use, preference and things like that, they change. So being able to quickly and easily change those templates and update that information is kind of what we were going for. So those do not come pre-populated, I guess I should say, but great question. Yeah, okay, sorry, I'm listening here. DJ didn't have his mic, I forgot about that. So second question, what will a bill of material look like out of CrescentLink? That is a great question. And that's something, Sean, I'd like to follow up with you offline here, but just to sum it up pretty quickly, CrescentLink has some very specific reporting capabilities and functionality that we would utilize to basically report on that project in particular, okay? Basically run an equipment summary report on that specific project. It would list every piece of equipment that's used, every fiber that's used, all the footages, you know, that are applicable there. Essentially everything that you saw in the map that applied to that neighborhood build out would be in that report. And it would have with it all the account information, the part number information, the costs associated with it, how much of each one that I'm using, all that information would be in that report. Very quickly you can get that out as well. And Sean, like I said, I can show you that offline. And it looks like those were the only two questions that came in, just looking. So again, thanks guys for joining us today. I appreciate everyone that was able to make it to this one and our other presentations. I hope they were helpful. We are going to have these recorded and they will be posted both on our support portal as well as our YouTube channel. If you need to get with one of us to ask us more questions, ask us, where or how you can access these videos, please feel free. Listed some contact information here, kind of our generic line if you need to, or if you need to get me directly, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Please reach out with any questions you have, any needs, further clarification, things like that. But again, do appreciate you guys joining us this afternoon. Hope it was helpful, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the conference. Thanks.